introduce our first speaker for session one. Her name is Julia Williams. Julia Williams is a leadership strategist, author of Jewel Seasons, and the host of a podcast called Let's Talk About It with Jules by Jules. Julia is passionate about helping leaders develop an innovative and authentic understanding of who they are and how they lead. Through holistic strategic methods and that integrate the mind, body, soul, and spirit, she equips the next generation of leaders. Can we say next generation of leaders? Especially women, to rise into their natural leadership and pursue their dreams one step at a time. Based in the DFW area, Texas area, Julia brings insight, inspiration, and practical wisdom to every stage. Come on up, Julia.
Good morning. Good morning. No. I'm a very expressive individual. I'm gonna take this mic off because I kind of walk a lot. So if I say good morning, I need everybody to say good morning. Good morning, everybody. It does sound like you had a little bit of grits this morning. You had a little bit of eggs and biscuits. So let me try one more time. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, you guys sound like you're ready for a good power packed today. Well, as Dee Federica, our host, says, my name is Julia. I am not from Crockett, Texas. I am not from Texas at all. So I'm going to tell you a little story about me. I was born in New York, but raised in the island of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm an islander. Then, for some odd reason, I decided to come back to America. Started off in Florida. And then Florida decided to mess me up a little bit in a good kind of way. And I decided to move to the beautiful, now my favorite loving state called Texas. The mic went down? I'm a little loud. Oh, wow, because I'm a little loud. Can you hear me now without the mic? Oh, perfect. I know. I sure do. I do. The mic is connected there. Yeah, so we don't need it. So we can take this one off. All right. So I'm going to talk to you guys about identity today. So this is my topic today, and my assignment today is about identity. So I'm going to kick this off with a little story, and it's like called The Case of the Stolen Identity. So back who I am and my background, I work in the legal department. And so everything about me is the legal, the law, everything about that, right? So this is a story. Do not laugh at the names. I decided this is who the names are going to be. So this is the story about Precious Pippa. Don't ask me how I got Precious Pippa, but Precious Pippa is her name. Precious Pippa was born very delightful. She was loved. She was ecstatic. She was everything you think about. And then one day, some things happened to Precious Pippa. And Precious Pippa decided to be a little bit mean, a little bit bitter, a little bit angry. And she was no longer Precious Pippa anymore. She started turning into Negative Nancy. Everywhere she turned, no one saw Precious Pippa any longer. She wasn't identified as sweet. She wasn't identified as loving. She wasn't even identified as as her name is, Precious, any longer. She became very negative because life changed her name. Life circumstances and trauma changed her name. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how life tends to come in and change your identity. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. First thing we're going to talk about is what is identity? Anybody can tell me what identity is? Like the full foundational word of what identity means? I talk back to the crowd, so I need people to talk back to me.
Who you are?
Who you are, I'll thank you. Anybody else could give me another definition of identity? You look like you have a word. Yes, go ahead, tell me.
Character, identity, what, yeah.
See, thank you. So what Meridian says, identity has been described as the distinguishing character of personality of an individual. So I'll read that again for you. Identity is the distinguishing character or personality of an individual. And to me, identity is like your armor. So I'm gonna kind of break that down for you a little bit, what that looks like. So who you are is what people see. So as your armor for identity, it kind of like when people see me, they might see a strong, motivated, fearless, brave, and courageous individual. I just gave myself the characteristics of what people, when they see me, that's what they see. Sometimes in life, people see things on you that you don't even see for yourself. It is up to you as the individual with identity, and hence the reason why we're talking about mentally free. When you're mentally thoughts that people tend, as life comes on you, you tend to break that in and become who you see and who you are. And so let me tell you a story a little bit about myself. Okay. As I told you from the beginning, I was born in New York and raised in Trinidad. Now, if you know about island parents, they're a little bit intense. They tend to be a very intense individual people. And I want to say at age 5, my mom, as loving as she was, she had this thing, she had a temper on her. And one day I think I got her really angry, and she said to me, "That's it, I'm done. I'm about to sell you to the orphanage." And for me, at 5, you're thinking, my mom don't want me anymore. So guess what identity I put on there? Rejection. That was the first identity that got slapped on me. The second thing, at age 15, a situation happened with a significant other that I will not express right at the moment, but I felt shameful. So shame came and put a big whopping slash on my body. And then I moved to the United States of America, and I went to try to go to school here. But everyone looks at me as a foreigner. Even though I was born here, I am born in America, but I was a foreigner. And then I had that rejection came again. So rejection became a little bit bigger, and bitterness became a little bit bigger. And so now my identity is switching. The way I saw myself begin to switch. And then I went to work. No one seemed to like Julia. And so now I felt like I wasn't good enough to be a leader, good enough to be anything that anyone put in front of me. So unworthy became another identity I put on. And then finally, about a year and a half ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Wow. Now that becomes, well, now it's the end of the world. I'm just done. I'm not anything. I can't do anything. So now I'm looking at myself differently. When I look in the mirror, I see something totally different. Mentally, because of what I've experienced, I saw myself differently. And so when people saw me, they said, "Well, Julie, you're great. You're amazing. You're this, you're that." And I just could not see that person. What I saw and what I put off was the rejected individual, the abandoned individual, the hurt individual, the bitter individual, the offended individual. And so last year, while I was going through my chemo treatment and all the surgery and good stuff, I was at my job that I work right now. And my coworker, the moment I started there about 2 years ago, she's like, Julia, you don't see who you are. I'm like, I know who I am. Girl, you ain't gonna tell me who I am. I know who I am. Don't talk to me like that. I know who I am. She's like, no, you don't see who you are. And I'm like, whatever. I know who I am. You gotta tell me who I am. She's like, no. You need to know who you are. And I remember her telling me this. She said, remember what you bring to the table. Whatever that looks like, what do you bring to the table? And I had to look at myself one day in the mirror and say, what do I bring to the table? And what I bring to the table is a very confident individual, but do I act like it? Who I am is a strong, and I'm gonna say this, Black woman who is very able and capable, but do I believe it? We could say who we are, but if you don't believe it, believing is half the battle. Believing who you are is half the battle. And so it took me a minute for about a couple of months to recognize that Julia is capable of doing amazing things. And so when your host said, Julia, I need you to speak at my Mentally Free Summit, I looked at her like she was lost her mind. I was like, girl, I ain't talking. I don't want to talk to people because I don't like how the way I hear myself. First of all, she likes to hear herself talk. No, did you say that? No, that's not what you said. Oh, my bad. What did you say? Learning to love yourself. I don't like to hear myself talking, but I had to learn though. And I said, I don't know. So like you said, like I'm a praying person. So I went to the Lord. I said, Lord, I need you to help me. And he said, I helped you already because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Who you are, I have already created inside of you. And so if you already know who you are, so basically you're telling me that because I'm giving you the tools don't work. I don't make garbage. Okay. All right. So he gives me an analogy. He said, when you have your car, you buy a new car, because I just bought a new car, y'all. Yeah, love it. Nice car. It's a very nice car. And he's like, when you buy your new car and you take it to get it fixed, who do you take it to? Do you take it to Kroger's? Do you take it to Costco? Do you take it to any other place? No, I take it to the dealership. He said, that's exactly what you do. I created you before the foundations of the world. And therefore, if you need a tune-up, a maintenance check, you need to go to the one who created it, who knows what the engine looks like, who knows what the transmission looks like, who even knows if you need brakes. Some of us don't like brakes. I learned that in Texas. Y'all rode stop signs in Texas. I'm telling y'all, I learned how to work and drive in Texas. You know, he knows what the brakes, he knows what the gas, he knows what type of gas you need. Some of us use 87, some of us use 94, some of us use different types of gas. Each one of us has a different type of oil that we use. But guess what? When I went to the mechanic began to give me a good tune-up. And I was like, okay, what is a tune-up? And then he sends what people call mechanics to help you with the tune-up. I know this all ties into identity, trust me, believe me, it ties into identity. Because the moment you start to go for your tune-up, he sends the right mechanics to help you get tuned up. And that's why you're here at Mentally Free. All your leaders here at Mentally Free is your assigned mechanics to help you get recharged, restart. Yes, Lord. So listen, when you're here at Mentally Free, everything might be looking, sounds different to each one of you. And each one of us will bring something totally different. But today, I'm going to tell you, God designed specifically for you to come to get a tune-up, a maintenance check, an oil change. Some of y'all need a new brakes, oil on your brakes. Some of y'all need a little bit of window washing because your vision is a little bit cloudy. And so today, when we're talking about identity, it will help you come into a place of understanding of when you are you cannot expect to be a Honda and want to get a Maserati brakes. It ain't gonna fit. And you can't be an Aston Martin or a Lamborghini and think a Toyota wheel or a Toyota door is gonna fit. Trust me, it's not gonna fit. Okay? So if you want to be a Tesla, be a Tesla. If you want to be a Lamborghini, be the Lamborghini. Even if you want to be an Escalade, you know, just be the Escalade. Because not all size fits all. Everyone is created individually. Everyone's created uniquely. And that's what brings you to your identity. Do not allow your culture and race define your identity. Because your identity makes up who you are. This lovely lady in the center, we look nothing alike, but she has a very unique identity because of who she is. I like your hair though, it's kind of fly. I love it, love it, love it, love fly hair, fly hair, fly hair. All right, so let's see. We're gonna talk about some positive characteristics of identity. The first one is called courageous. Some of us don't know what it is to be courageous, brave, strong. They all mean the same thing, but when you walk in it, is that you're willing to tackle the hard things, even though it scares you. That's what it does. That's what an identity of being walking in courageous is, that space. The other one, we're good still? Okay. Fearless. When we did this a couple of weeks ago, I talked about being a warrior and being able to stand in a position of being fearless and not allowing fear to take over who you are. Because fear is a thing which is a negative. Fear tends to strip you of your true identity because it is something that stops you and make you look at things from a different perspective, right? Fear is a liar. I want everybody to say that with me. Fear is a liar. Y'all say it one more time, like fear is a liar.
Is a liar.
Now you just told fear where to go. If you walk in that fear of that identity of fear, you just told it it's a liar. So every time you start going to do something and you're asked to do something at your job, at church, even at home, fear is a liar. Okay? Now, this is one that I sometimes struggle with, but we're working on it. God is working on it. It's called the insecurity. Insecurity is one of those horrendous things that makes you not want to do things because you feel like, I can't do this because everybody, you begin to start comparing yourself to everybody. And that thing of comparison is evil. Depending on how you look at it, if you're comparing someone based upon their capabilities, and you lessen your capabilities, that's when it becomes a problem. The host over there, I'm gonna pick on you today, because I can't. She is a counselor. She's a therapist, she's licensed. I don't got nothing, I don't got no license or therapist, I'm not that. However, that's her lane. She has people she needs to deal with. For me, I am a leadership strategist. I'm a mentor. I work in the legal field. I wrote a book. I have a podcast. She's not going to talk to the people that I got to talk to. But what makes me compare to her is that when I see her, I see that she can do many things, but it pushes me to do what I need to do. Okay? So find people. I'm going to segue. I'm going to be bouncing a little bit across a little bit, but I want you guys to always look at this from a perspective of find people that you can sharpen the tools that's already in you. Okay. So now, a couple of other ones that I'm just going to just spin over is enough. And I want you guys to say, I am enough.
I am enough.
Because when you know that you are enough, that's all that matters. You can do this if you're enough. So let me give you some other negative ones. I already gave you shame, bitterness. Those are the negative ones that tend to pop up. Okay. So how do you reclaim your identity? This part's going to be a little bit cliche, but it's okay. You're going to do it anyway. Your first step to reclaiming your identity is forgiveness. Forgiveness is not for anybody else, but for you as the person. Okay? So the first thing I always tell people is forgive the person that either hurt you, harmed you, made you feel like you're not good enough. The situation that happened, forgive. Forgiveness is really letting go, because sometimes we don't like to let go. Sometimes we hoard our own feelings. And that's a bad thing. I'm talking from experience. So I'm talking from a place that just happened in like maybe a day or hour or two, like, you know. Forgiveness is something that tends to harbor, and you hold on to feelings, and you hold on to emotions, and you hold on to all these things, and you're like, but I don't want to. But sometimes you're just going to have to, because it helps you. It makes you better. Like right now, I have to forgive my body. Why? Because my body decided to do its thing. And that's okay. It had its thing. It did it do. And I forgive my body. I had to forgive my mom. I had to forgive the other situations. I had to forgive boyfriends. I had to forgive coworkers, managers, teachers. Don't let me go down the list, because I had to do a lot of forgiving, you know? And forgiveness started helping to break down the old negative identity, so the new identities could now come and form. Okay? The second thing was, I needed to forgive myself, right? At the end of the day, if you forgive yourself, which is the hardest thing to do, because we never feel like we do something wrong. We feel like we're always right. That's the popular demand. We're not always right. Trust me, we're not always right. Right? So I had to go through a step of forgiving myself. One, for probably eating the wrong things, for probably thinking the wrong thoughts, for probably just being rude to people. Like, I just needed to forgive who I am. Forgive myself for going to places for a maintenance check where I wasn't supposed to go to the correct maintenance check. Right? You have to forgive yourself of going to things and doing things that you know very well you're not supposed to go to. So, forgive myself for taking that, what I ain't supposed to be taking, just saying that. And then the last thing is I need to ask God to forgive me for being mad at him. Because when situations come and situations happen, the first person we blame is God. But God, why did you do this? But God, why did this happen? But God, why did this happen? But God, why did it? And we ask God, we're like, but why? And then we get angry. And then he's like, but I was there with you through it. I was there when you went through the throwing up. I was there with you when you're afraid to do the surgery. I was there with you when your friends betrayed you. I was there with you when your mom wanted to give you up. I was there with you. He's been there all the time. And I'm saying this for you to understand, for the ones in this room, and even the ones online, God is always with you. You may feel like he's not there because you're in it. You may feel like it because you're sitting in a space and you're trying to figure out, like, what? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't feel like you're here with me. I feel like my bank account don't look like it's supposed to look like. The relationship doesn't look like how I intend for it to look like. Everything doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like. But I'm here to tell you, God is in the bank account too. God is in the relationship too. God is in every single thing that you do, is if you're willing to turn and have, because he's standing right there with you, but you just have to turn and accept the fact that he's there with you and he will walk you through it no matter what. So, are we good? Are you sure? Y'all kind of quiet. I don't know. Y'all a little quiet. Y'all quiet right now. So I'm going to hand y'all something fun, because it's the leadership in me, So I'm going to give you guys what's called my identity assessment. This is going to give you a couple minutes. No, I'm going to give it to you. And I think in the box, there's, I think, more people. It's in the folder. You got it. Thank you. So I'm going to hand you guys this identity assessment. Thank you, Sue. And I want you to take some time, and I want you to be very, very honest on the assessment. And when you're done, I want you to I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes to really be fully honest with your assessment. And ask yourself these questions, because this is going to help you in the long run.
No cheating. We're looking on the other people's paper. Does anybody else need a pen?
Oh, that's right. I can forget it. Hi, online people. So I'm going to give you the online people. I'm going to give it to our host as a link, and she'll add it to the link, but so you can fill it out on your own. So one of the questions that kind of popped out at me was, my background, culture, family, community plays an important role in my identity. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes or no? You can put it on your paper, yes or no. Thank you, I'm so sorry. Thank you for host for helping me. Thanks for.
Keep reading.
The other one I understand my core values and beliefs, yes or no? Now, here's the thing, some of y'all may not understand what core values or beliefs are. So I've learned that core values is what we call, for me, this is my definition of core value, is my non-negotiable. What makes me, what builds me up, who makes me who I am is my core value. And then I can describe my personality accurately, yes or no. I'm gonna tell you, I put no on that multiple times because I just didn't know I was this funny and bubbly. All right. And I feel comfortable being myself in most situations, yes or no? Who in here is very comfortable being? That's my girl right there. She went her hand straight up first. I love it, Trinity. She said, I know. I feel comfortable being myself in most situations. You saying no over there? She said absolutely not. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. Why not?
I feel if I were to be my true, authentic self, I'm gonna feel judged. Well, maybe it's also my career. I do a job where it's complaints, regulations, regulatory. I really don't have the option to be me. So even at home, I'm still being mom. I'm being this person to this person, but am I truly being me? You know, so my true self, I kind of shut it down because I don't want to be judged. I don't want to fit. So it feels heavy. So if I go to places, I feel more heavy than, hey, I could have went here and had a good time. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to fit in a box that wasn't for me. So yeah, I feel uncomfortable because I never can be my true authentic self. But I'm trying to do the work. That's why I'm here.
Good. Come on now. All right. So can I submit to you? I used to be exactly like that, right? Because, sorry, when I was like a little bit about 10, I was an avid reader. Read books consistently, right? And one day, my mom was calling me in the kitchen. She was like, Julia. And then she went to my full name. So when your parents call you by your full name, you're in trouble because you didn't hear them the first 2 times that they called you. And I didn't hear her. And my dad snatched my book and he flinged my book across the room and he's like, you're always reading a book. And that moment stopped me completely. I stopped reading. I didn't want to read a book no more. I didn't want to. So now who I am began to shrink, right? And then I started walking around and I didn't realize I was goofy. I'm the goofiest person in the world. Like nobody can tell me I'm not goofy. I laugh at my own jokes, right? But it took me a while to get there, but I will submit to you, who you are is what makes up when you come out. So if you continue to hide who you are, regardless if you do regulatory, because if you're working for bank, is it a bank?
Insurance.
Oh, even better. You could come out, you shouldn't be allowed to hide who you are. Because who you are in that moment doesn't define your job. You are who you are because of who you are, not the job. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that do not hide who you are because of your job. And how you can do that is by seeing yourself first, not the job. So I'm going to ask you a question. Name one thing that you do not like about yourself. Internally.
Just people pleasing. Like, I'm a people pleaser. So, I mean, it goes with every aspect of, like you said, work, friendship, husband, wife, children, it doesn't
get a out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So trying to not so much people please and know what you want. What do you want for them? You know, what is it that you want?
Okay, so ask you that question.
Yeah, and just even like you said, even in your work, hey, I'm showing up as me.
Mhm.
This is me, so I can do the work, but I can show up as myself, not who people want you to be, or what is my idea of what people want me to be.
Okay.
So,
So-
doing that.
Okay. And then what do you do like about yourself internally?
I love internet, I love to, like, I love to laugh, I love to have fun, have a good time. And in my work, I don't know how to make it stuff, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Rigid?
yes, and in that, this year, well, I just had a traumatic experience, you know, these past 2 years. Life was heavy, you know, so I did the work, like you said, culture, never do therapy, you know, but my entire family did therapy after this season, you know, so in that, I created my business and, get to be me. I'm in the space where I want to celebrate, I want to smile, I want to just radiate and give that energy that I would love to have every day of my life, you know, of my purpose, you know. So go back to how something has to break completely. And like you said, your identity, you picking up things that were not even a part of your core, you know? So letting go of things that have you picked up along the way.
Yeah.
And getting back to what is your purpose? Why are you here? What is the important thing long term?
Mhm.
So I'm excited about it.
So I can tell you this right now, you're already on a journey.
Mhm.
You already started it. Keep going.
Mhm.
Because you already made a decision that you want to be better.
Mhm.
The fact that you identified what that thing
Mhm.
is your first starting point.
Mhm.
And now you're going to do the work. So I have an assignment for you. So I want you to, in your mirror at home, get a Sharpie.
Mhm.
And I want you to write every day 3 different things that you like about yourself.
Okay. I'll do.
And then every day, you just say, I am beautiful. I am a winner. I am successful. Just 3 different things and change it up. You may use that same 3 2 weeks from now,
Right.
but change it up. Because what that does is now it's trying to kind of reverse the things that's inside of you. Okay? So that's your homework. So next time I decide to show up in Crockett, I'll come find you and see you.
I'm gonna show on your podcast.
All right now. Come visit. Okay. So finally, everyone's done with their assessment. So I want you guys to take those lovely assessment and I want you to fold it in half. Fold that puppy in half. Oh, mom's already on it. I love it, mom. Fold it in half. And I want you guys to close your eyes. And I want you to think the same thing I told Veronica. I want you to think of one thing internally by yourself. You don't have to say it out loud that you don't like about yourself. One thing that one thing. I'll give you a second. And then I want to take that one thing that you like about yourself. guys have it? If you have it, say yay. Okay. Now, the one thing that you don't like about yourself, I want you, in the midst of like, see yourself writing it on a piece of paper internally. So see yourself writing out one thing you don't like about yourself. Let me know if you wrote it down. And then I want you to see yourself tearing up that piece of paper. And as you tear up that piece of paper, you're gonna say bye-bye to that old identity. Say bye to the old identity. Bye. Now, the very thing that you wrote down that you like about yourself, is your new identity. And I want you to take that, and I want you to say it internally on the inside, or if you're comfortable with saying it outside. You want to say it like I would say, one of my newest identity is I am free. My other one is I am healed. I have joy. This is just me spilling it out because this is who I am. I am full of peace. You tell me I went on my 40 minutes. This is amazing. I love it when I reach my time. So, as you guys done, for my gift to you all, I'm gonna give you guys a mirror. And each mirror, as Dee for Derek, gives you guys one. Give you one. And I want you guys to take that and remind yourself, because each one has a specific word and it's identifier of who you are. And so I want you on a daily basis, look in the mirror and give yourself the new characteristics of who you are as your identity. Thank you very much.